What's up guys? In today's video we're gonna go over what in-ears you should get for your instrument in 2021. So with that, let's get into it. In this video I'm gonna be going over a couple of things that I look for or I consider before I decide what in-ears I am going to invest in, because we all know in-ears are an investment. Custom or universal, they're kind of expensive. What in-ears should you get for your instrument in 2021? The short answer, it doesn't really matter. All of this stuff is very circumstantial based and it completely depends on your situation. So there's not gonna be a one size fits all in-ear. If you play drums and a website recommends these for drummers, that's just a starting place. That doesn't mean that that's the one that you need to get or the one that you shouldn't get just because a company recommends it or not. That leads us into the first tip, and that's going to be, it depends on the system that you're using. If you're at a church or any other event, it depends on the PA system that they have, it depends on the soundboard that they have, and it depends on if they have a person dedicated to running monitors for you, or if the sound guy in the back is kind of doing two jobs and running your in-ears is one of them. And if you're running P16s or Avioms and you're not having somebody else mix your in-ears for you, then this stuff still applies, but it also could be that your mix just isn't dialed in for you. So before running out and getting brand new in-ears because the ones that you currently are using aren't great, try messing with your P16 to see if you can get a better sound out of it. And if you're interested, I made a video on that and I'll put that video up here somewhere. The second point is going to be how many musicians do you have playing with you. If you have a full band and an orchestra, you're going to need something that can handle a little more frequency and has a little more clarity, and a lot of times with in-ears, the way that you get clarity is by the number of drivers or speakers. If you've ever heard the saying, many hands makes light work, that's basically what the in-ears are doing. If you have more speakers, then in theory, you're going to be able to hear and pick things out a lot easier. Now again, if your in-ear mix isn't great, then it doesn't matter how many speakers you have, it's still gonna sound muddy. So you still need to have a good mix, but if you do have a good mix, this is just going to enhance the experience that much more. The third tip, and the reason that it is the third tip instead of the first tip, is because in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important, but it is worth mentioning. It depends on what instrument you're playing. Now, like I said, this doesn't really matter all that much. I used these triple driver 1964 ears for years until I got my 8-driver jhaudio in-ears. They both sound great. They both sound very different, but they both sound awesome. A lot of companies will try to recommend in-ears that are tuned for specific instruments, and that is true, but if you get something like a triple driver that isn't really recommended for drummers, it's not the end of the world. I still had pretty great mixes on these in-ears. But if you do have the extra cash and you do play drums or bass, I do recommend getting something with an extra sub or something with a little more kick, because it will help distinguish the bass and the kick drum. And the last tip is going to be, how frequently do you use them? How frequently do you play? For me, when I bought these that, like I said, cost almost $2,000, I use these for my livelihood, and I also play drums, so these are saving my hearing. But if somebody looking for in-ears is only playing, let's say, once a month or playing just on Sundays, do you need to get $2,000 in-ears? I don't think so. You just have to look at your situation and decide if you're willing to spend or invest that much money into something that you may not do very frequently. But it all depends on your situation and what you're comfortable paying. And like I said, most in-ears that you get, especially customs, you're gonna love despite price point and everything else. That's all I have for you guys today. Just 4 quick, easy tips to kind of help make your decision that much easier and a little less stressful, hopefully. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or hit me up on any social medias. Those will be linked in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the new videos I post on this channel. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.